Hey, Shalom, Shalom, call out, Yahabashim, Yashabah, Shemakakadash. Double arms to the apostle, salutations to the elect, men, women, and children that believe are the 1/3. Yo, this is like the brokest time I've ever seen. Well, people who had money, they had money, whatever. They was kind of always frugal with shit. But as far as Jake, because the scriptures talk about Jacob's trouble, and the scriptures talk about the poor, and that's Israel. These are different synonyms, the Lord called Israel. Sometimes he called them the righteous. He said the poor, these different synonyms. The hidden ones, the chosen ones. But this the poorest or the tightest I seen, like, people with money. So as I go, to these little gas stations and shit like that, it'd be little lines and people getting, when you go to like a little bodega or a gas station, you be like, all right, I'm gonna just pick up a couple items. And sometimes you don't really know what you want. You're going in there to get like one or two things, but you might grab a couple more items. But I see people, and I see this a lot, putting shit back. And they only grab like 4 or 5 items. They get they blunt wraps. They get they chips, they Cheetos, Doritos, whatever they eat. And then they might get a soda. And they be like, all right, $13. And then they mind, $13? And I'm seeing this shit often and more often. So it's funny. They know how much them damn blunt wraps and shit they smoke cost. So they figure like, all right, give me them bag of chips right there. And they think the bag of chips like $1, $1.50, but them shits be like $2.80, $3 for like a regular plain bag of chips. Salaki, I'm driving as always. I'm heading somewhere, right? So they kind of be like, $13 or like $3, like. So a lot of times they be like, well, how much them chips cost? They be like, well, $2.89. They be like, oh hell no, put them shits back. And a lot of times they be with their kids and shit, mainly the nigga woman. Jake too, but they be with their kids and shit, and they'll tell their kids like, oh no, you can't get them chips. They cost too much. You got snacks at home or some shit, like, and it's fucked up because it's like, yo, put one of them fucking blunt wraps back or them Black and Milds and let the little girl, get a fucking chips, man. Or fucking peanut chews or some shit. It was a couple of times, I felt, you be compassionate. I'd be like, fuck it, I get it for, oh, thank you, sir, whatever, like. But it's like, hell no. And that's just like one or two, like one kid I saw. So like, if you, and this the times that's coming, if you got like, let's say you got 3 to 5 kids, not 5, that's a little extended. But let's say you got like 3 kids, right? And they all want a snack. That shit gonna be like $13. And as prices going up, people paychecks are not rising like that, and they taxing more, even if it is. So people not able to afford their luxuries. like that. And I see this shit a lot, you know, especially amongst Jake. You know, they be thinking, and the price is constantly, so they might think it's like one price, but the shit might jump like 25 cents, 30 cents. And they go to these little bodegas to pick up their items and not knowing that the bodegas charge more for convenience because it's a convenience store, it's not a supermarket. Even though the supermarket's high. So, you know, people gonna have to cut corners on they different pleasures. And these jobs is, you know, see AI, this is what Kevin Samuels was talking about. Winter is coming for the women. So AI is going to kill all these jobs. But a lot of jobs men do, like a lot of physical plumbing, electrician, you know, carpenter, construction, trucking, shit like that, it's going to take them a while to actually, you know, set up like a robot to do that shit. Like a physical robot to do that shit. But as far as like digital AI, that shit is already here and it's like replacing jobs at a fast ass rate. So a lot of blue collar work, like behind the desk jobs, like, you know, them little cubicle office jobs, and a lot of like, you know, receptionists, medical billing and coding, fucking medical assistant, you know, jobs women got. AI is gonna replace them shits first. Them shits gonna get hit first. And then it's gonna try to, you know, slowly affect jobs men do. See, jobs men do is more, Esau gotta become more developed with his shit to really fully replace with the jobs that STEM, you know, science, technology, engineering, and math. So you always kind of need like engineers, you know, whether it's software engineers, computer engineers, and shit like that, to like tweak different things, you know what I mean? But they'll have robots working on robots eventually and shit like that. Depends on how long the Lord had his devil go. But as these bullshit office jobs and, you know, receptionists, like shit, you know, the toll booths, fucking orientation and shit like that. All of that shit is just about to be straight up obsolete. And that's going to put these women in a dire, they already there, but they ain't really feel the fucking real squeeze yet. And these dudes waking up, a lot of these dudes, it's like a simp apocalypse out this motherfucker. Because the internet has exposed a lot of women nature. See, for a long time, men was naive to the shit women did. I mean, they knew, but they didn't fully know. But once the internet came, it was able to expose, you know, all the fresh and fits, these different red pill dating coaches, and that way Kevin Samuels and these different guys, you know, that kind of exposed women true, because, you know, men is slow. A lot of men is really, the guys who really was up on women's nature and really knew how grimy and low women could be was like pimps and Max. And if you ain't really have like an uncle who really was certified and tell you about women and put you up on them, you ain't really know the difference from like a whole. I mean, you would suspect like, I mean, unless she was out there like that, but you ain't really know. You be like, I love her. Like, you ain't really know how they thought. Like, you just, oh, she got a pretty smile. She's so pretty. I love her. I like her so much. You really couldn't read them. Or like, you'd be naive to a lot of their shit. So when the internet came about, it exposed women nature, like put it on forefront. And men was able to see the ugliness of their thought patterns and how they use men and take advantage of them, and what they really thought and how they really felt about men. So a lot of dudes like, man, fuck that, fuck them, especially the new younger generation. They just straight weirdos and like bug outs. So that goes into Isaiah 4:1. 7 women shall take hold of one man, because their job market going to collapse. And it's happening already. Trump fired hella federal workers and shit. So their job market going to collapse at a way faster, phenomenal rate than the men's job market. Both of them going to get hit, but the women jobs going to get hit way harder. Way harder. And women don't like hard work. They dread that shit. They be complaining about getting up, going to their little bullshit job. Oh, I'm tired. I really don't want to go into that. They be calling out a lot, taking workman's comp, calling out sick and all that shit. So once their job market gets smashed out, they gonna flood that unemployment. Remember, it's more women than men. So that's gonna cause a domino effect of them like looking towards, like, if you're a working man, you got a job, they see you. It ain't, see, before it was like, oh, you fucking you're a cab driver, or you work security, you're a security guard, or you work at Amazon or some shit like that, right? Or you're a bus driver or some shit like that. They gonna, because they despise those titles, right? Because they look at those titles and be like, well, by you doing this, you only got but so much money, which is not true. That show you that these dumb hoes don't know economics, because it's not really how much you make, it's how much you keep. It's about like discipline, sacrifice. Do you invest? Do you save? Do you got child support and different things on you? Because the way the system's set up is designed to keep everybody fucking poor. But if you have certain disciplines and work ethics and whatever, you actually could make more than a motherfucker that's got a so-called high title, especially with student loan debts and all of that. But these hoes, they don't know that, right? So, but they gonna be thirsty to the point where it's like, yo, if you got a gig or a job, they gonna be preying on you. I just had to curse one of my brothers out. I ain't gonna say his name, but he had his own spot for the longest. He let a broad 40-year-old chick, 42, some shit like that, 10-year-old son, like, move in, like, with them and shit. Like, see, one thing about older women are very, like, manipulative and slick. Like, they dealt with so many men. They know the right things to say to you. They know how to play they fucking cards, like fucking Gambit from X-Men. They play their cards very well. And what these women gonna be doing, they gonna be looking to see whatever type resources you got. Or whatever, if you a single man, you got like a little extra money, cause shit gonna get tightened. So they gonna be looking to drop those trap babies. They gonna be looking to They gonna be looking to move in with you. They gonna become more manipulative and more strategic. And you know, a lot of dudes gonna get caught up because Eve gonna go into survival mode. You know, and they come over your house and, you know, oh, you live here. They find out you live there by yourself. You got a fucking extra room, or you got, you know, you got a crib or whatever, or like they gonna plot. Especially older women. See, young chicks just trying to have fun. I'm going out. Let's go. You know, the older chicks that with kids and shit and older, they more like manipulative and survival mode, and they more able to plot, and they way more strategic with their shit. They be done had your ass in a fucking a submission move without you even fucking knowing it. You know? So brothers gotta be more on point, you know, and probably stick together too in these times. You know, the Lord said 2 is better than 1. You might have to, hey, before you move in with a chick, get you a roommate. Make sure it's a brother in the faith. You don't want to know, you know what I mean? Get you a roommate or something like that. Split shit. That way you manage your resources better, because the squeeze is definitely going to get tighter, you know, as time continues to go on. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That Isaiah 4:1 definitely coming. And these people out here, you know, as gas go up and shit like that, they ain't gonna be able to afford they different fixes and stuff like that. They're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of things. And these fucking idiots out here getting their taxes is still buying fucking Benzes and shit like that with these high ass gas prices. I was just like, you can't make this shit up. You know, it's a saying in the world, a fool and his money will soon depart. And you know, these people got they seek that vain glory, even if it fucking kills them. And a lot of these chicks, man, even if it was like simps out here, these women don't look attractive no more, man. They tall, they big as, I don't know what Esau did with the jeans and shit. See, if you're a decent, pretty woman, like, you know, you're attractive, you know, you keep yourself together, you always find a man to fucking bend over, like, for you. It's just like the gift kind of woman got, you know what I mean? You're somewhere to be a guy. I'll be seeing some sumo, hippopotamus, tall, big Shirley bitches. And you know what I think? I be like, look, I tell brother, I be like, look, you don't think somebody hitting that shit? Somebody out here hitting that shit. Some of them be pregnant. I be like, man, who the fuck got this bitch pregnant? You know what I mean? But hey, man, if you were like halfway, you keep yourself together. But most of these women, man, they don't, like, it's like, yo, hell no. And the ones that is together to some degree, as far as physically, is like the younger ones that's like maybe like 19, 22, 23, 24. But man, the way they eating and hanging out and all that shit. But hey, these clubs and all this shit, that's over with. The alcohol, the drinks, and all that scenery shit, people ain't got bread for that shit no more. And the squeeze coming tighter, you know, because summer ain't even get here yet. Gas always go up in the summertime, always. And shit running like regular, running like at $4. So the diesel and all of this shit, is this motherfucker about to tow? Oh, hell no. They told, oh, damn, that's the spirit I didn't end the video. Because this shit is a tow zone. I'm sitting there. I was just about to get out the car. The Lord is bad. Because right now, that would have been a nail in the coffin. Fucking tow truck motherfuckers, man. I come through here and fuck your whole shit up. But, Salakia, and normally they don't tow like that. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, man, they, Salakia, I was just thinking out loud, kind of impromptu, dropping a quick video on the way in. But yeah, man, Passover time, judgment. A lot of this judgment started in March too. March and Aries going on the left-hand side with Greek and Roman mythology as the Roman and Greek god of war. So Esau like doing a lot of shit in March and April. You know, as soon as March come, what, they invaded Iran. They did a lot of shit in March. It's still doing it. And next month probably be real heavy too. This whole year is heavy, really. These snowstorms and shit. And fucking tornadoes. Out here in Maryland, they had a tornado. So, man, yeah. Hey, just stay on the watch. We definitely, in those times, just keep the prayers up. Passover time, y'all brothers and sisters out there, man. In the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, keeping the faith, y'all have a wonderful Passover, man. And with that, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.